Watching the new home for live Grizzly athletics on the Grizzly Digital Network. We would like to thank our corporate sponsors who have made today's game possible. For more information, log on to grizzlyathletics.com. Now, here's voice of the Grizzlies, Matt Mahoney.
Happy New Year to all the Grizzly fans out there. Welcome again to Grizzlies Live at Newk's Eatery as we kick off the 2015 season. We start with our spring sports and our head men's and women's tennis coach, Chase Hodges. Coach, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Has the first 2 weeks of the new year treated you well?
It's been great. It's been great. Just excited to be back and looking forward to the season.
As excited as you are to be back, what do you think about the athletes as they start to fly in and trickle into campus this week? How do they look and responded?
I think they're very excited. You know, it's a marathon, though. We understand that, you know, it's a process, so we're just going to do whatever it takes to get us to the point where we can peak at the right time.
Before we tap too much into this week and this season and whatnot, we talked about it in the summer.
Sure.
That it hadn't sunk in that you won 2 national championships.
Right.
Has it sunk in yet, and when did it happen?
It's still still a process, but it's now. I think it'll sink in completely when that first match hits, January 30th, because that'll be our first chance at defending the title as national champions and actually competing in a dual match format against other teams that are coming after us. So it's slowly getting there, but you know, by the time the season starts, it'll 110% be there.
I still do a double take every time we go to practice. You guys, I saw the tweet this morning. You guys early in the weight room, where it says "national champions" on the back of your shirt. I do a double take every time.
Right. It's something that'll never get old. You know, 2014 national champions will have that for the rest of our lives, and going after that 2015 title now.
Absolutely. We have had you on back in the fall. The Grizzlies compete on a little bit more individual effort representing GGC. They did very well. Now this spring it's more of a team-oriented game. For you, is there one that's less stressful than the other, or one you like better than the other, the fall versus spring?
I much prefer the spring. The spring is not even comparable to the fall for me from a coaching standpoint. And I think the players enjoy the spring. I mean, it's a team format. Obviously the fall is individual based, but I'm all in terms of the team, and that's what's most important.
So now with the national championships, some reputable performances in the fall, are our tennis programs starting to make a name for GGC, and what's that reputation like out there now?
Well, absolutely. I think the biggest thing is scheduling. I think when you look at our schedule, we have 21 ranked opponents on it, so it's made life a lot easier when you're scheduling as the top-ranked team in the country. A lot of teams want to play you, and they want to have an opportunity to move up in the rankings and just really test their program. So we've been able to really amp up the scheduling, and I think our success last year has made that possible.
This is students just reporting this week. You know, classes started on Monday, team meetings. You know, they've already got their physicals done, but now they're starting to get back in the routine of things. What's a common occurrence that you hear a player come to coach with a complaint this first week? Is everything ready to go, or what do they got to work on this first week?
I think the first week is, you know, drop ad ends on Friday, so really it's just getting their class schedule to the point where they feel totally comfortable with it. You know, they use these first 5 days to really make sure that this is a schedule they want to have, and obviously Friday is the deadline, so they have to lock it in. So I think it's really just getting the right classes and that work into their time.
And I'm sure Coach has a conditioning plan for the athletes when they get there, both on the men's and women's side. Do they trickle in the tennis facility and you go, yeah, you're going to have fun, you've been hard at work? Do you do an evaluation right when they get here?
Absolutely. The women obviously already started their conditioning in the morning today, and then the men are going to start on Tuesday morning. So the morning workouts have started, and we're able to really address all those concerns. The other thing is, once the season really gets going, we can, you know, really focus in on the development from a tennis standpoint.
So when do you make that transition? I know the weather's been miserable here. You haven't been able to get on the court. But what's that first step when you get on the court? What are you trying to work on to knock the rust off?
Well, we're just trying to hit as many balls as possible. You know, it's not a situation where I want them to sit around and listen to me talk for an hour. I'm not one of those coaches. I try to make sure that they hit as many balls as possible so that they can get the routine back and, you know, they can be ready to go when it truly matters.
We see a couple of the clips there, the national championship celebration here, and obviously it's kind of a play on words on the back of that T-shirt. It says 2014 national champion, but have you expressed to the team that there's a target on your back because of what happened in Mobile?
Absolutely. I mean, I know that every team's going to be coming after us. We won't sneak up on anybody like we did last year. And what that means is we're just going to have to be that much better, simply because we're going to take everybody's best shot. So our team better be ready to go, and hopefully we will be.
That's got to put a smile on your face right there, doesn't it?
That was a great moment right there. I'll never forget that.
The first one of the day. It was a long day, but a great moment for sure, and the men followed up right after that. Grizzly Athletics' first 2 national championships. So now, Coach, I'll ask you the hardest question here.
Sure.
How do you defend that? How do you attack this spring and defend both of our national championships?
Well,
no pressure.
You're already putting the pressure. I mean, trying to ease into it. First, what is January 14th, and you're already asking me.
16 days, buddy.
Oh man. Well, I think we're talking about both programs.
Sure.
Okay.
So talk about the women first. How do you defend that?
Well, I think the women really, the key for us this year is really going to be our doubles play. I think that we're going to have to make sure that we find the right combinations. I think that's going to be crucial to our success. The doubles, those 3 points are huge. And right now, to be honest, we have no idea what we're going to do in those combinations, but we have plenty of time to get there. And then on the men's side, I think what's going to be really important for us is our singles depth. I know that up top I feel really confident about where we are. We're just going to have to make sure that our depth is there, and I feel very confident about all our guys. But they're going to have to continue to work hard and give us what we need so that we can win those matches down low.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you stopping by. We got you on the show first. You can get out here in time for practice. What time's
Appreciate
practice
it.
today?
1 o'clock.
Are we going outside?
Absolutely.
On the court?
Absolutely.
It's a good day to be a Grizzly.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. That's head men's and women's tennis coach Chase Hodges. We'll take a break. We'll come back and have head baseball coach Brad Stromdahl. This is Grizzlies Live at Newk's Eatery on the Grizzly Digital Network.
As a member of the NAIA, Georgia Gwinnett College is responsible for the actions of its coaches, student athletes, faculty and staff, fans, boosters, and alumni. We are committed to the principle of institutional control and operating our athletics program in a manner consistent with the letter and spirit of the NAIA and Georgia Gwinnett College. We expect our student athletes to be model students in the classroom by offering academic support services in a variety of ways throughout their collegiate career. From study halls and tutoring to mentoring and personal growth and development training, GGC puts academic success at the forefront of our mission. Go Grizzlies!
Are you tracking the very latest with Grizzly Athletics? Stay up to date by following Grizzly Athletics on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can join the conversation by using the hashtag Grizzly. Are you tracking the very latest with Grizzly Athletics? Stay up to date by following Grizzly Athletics on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can join the conversation by using the hashtag Grizzly Athletics all season long. And as always, catch all the recaps, stats, and news on GrizzlyAthletics.com. Don't be left out. Follow all the latest with Grizzly Athletics online.
Hello, I'm Dr. Darren Wilson, Director of Athletics at Georgia Gwinnett College. Our administrators, coaches, and staff are proud to be one of the newest members in the NAIA. We aim to uphold the NAIA Champions of Character principles by promoting a positive climate for growth while fostering relationships within Georgia Gwinnett College, Lawrenceville, and Gwinnett County. In addition, we embrace our core values for the Grizzly Athletic Department: sportsmanship, leadership, service, responsibility, and pursuing excellence. Our mission is to develop lifelong leaders of character through academic and athletic excellence. Go Grizzlies!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Grizzlies Live in Newk City. We have found our head baseball coach, Brad Stromdahl. Coach,
Matt,
how are we doing?
Doing well. How are you?
So, beard, no beard, talk to me about this.
Well, my wife and I were fortunate enough to have a healthy baby boy in September.
I was going to get to that. Congratulations.
Thank you. And it just so happened that was like right in the middle of our season. And, you know, when a baby comes, you don't know if it's going to come tomorrow or today or the next day. So I just stopped shaving. And it came 2 weeks after I started to stop shaving. So we just kept the beard, and now we got rid of it. But now it's cleaned up.
Clean shaven for the season?
Yeah.
Now, there was a beard epidemic on your team last year. You got to know some of the new guys. Are you seeing any beards start to grow? Is there talk of it in the locker room?
You know what? We're not quite as mature as we were last year. So we have a hard time growing beards on this year's team. But, you know, in time, maybe
next year. We call them a
year.
green team. They're green.
Correct. They're very, very young and very fresh.
Fair enough. What talk to me about kind of the fall, how things have went. You know, it's a lot of new guys. I mean, we can spend the rest of this episode talking about who left.
Right.
We'll spend the next 16 days talking about who's here. But how do you got to know the guys a little bit? That's probably the hardest part, is getting to know them a little bit.
Yeah, no, I mean, and really that's what you do. You find out who they are as people, what really intrinsically drives them to do what they need to do. You know, does an outfielder dive feet first or head first all the time. So a lot of the little tiny things that you need to figure out, and then you figure out what kind of chemistry they have with the other players, and it really was a great fall though, because we did get in there. We got some gritty, really good kids that are ready to work and ready to help continue to build on the foundation that we've built over the last 2 years. And so fall from that standpoint was excellent, and now we need to transition what we learned in the fall into the spring. So
I know you bring in some outside guest speakers, Tim Hires of the Boston Red Sox, some conditioning programs. You get to step back and kind of see how the guys react. Have you figured out how to motivate this group just yet?
I don't think you ever know how to motivate a team until they motivate themselves and are ready to it, right? Exactly. Yeah. And so you don't really learn what somebody's about until they're put under that pressure and that duress. So one of the reasons why we bring in a lot of those extra curricular speakers, even if it has really not a whole lot to do with baseball, but has more to do with life, and maybe it's an agent, maybe it's a scout, maybe it's a car salesman, whatever. It doesn't really matter. They have things that we can learn from them, and so it's always good to listen to them and to step back and say, okay, let's reflect on what they say. How can we apply it to our lives?
Absolutely. The guys are starting to show up to campus here. You've already been practicing a week. What have you seen so far out of this group that you like since the break?
We didn't lose a lot of the base knowledge that I thought sometimes you lose between that break of the December to January.
Yeah.
Guys go home and they just kind of hang out and don't do a whole lot. Exactly.
Play
your thumb's hurt. It's carpal tunnel in your wrist, but they really came back ready to go. Our defensive routines, our defensive sets have been really good. We haven't thrown the ball all over the place. There's not been big, gigantic snowball fights, and so it's been great. So I'm very, very happy with where we're at right now, a week or so into practice, and we got about 12, 13, 14 more practices left. Fortunately, we'll have about 11 scrimmages inter-squads in. Some of those are only 2 or 3 innings, but we're able to get out there and play about 10 or 11 times, depending on some weather, before our first game, which gets us ready to play.
Does that help? As you plan for practice, can you say we can do more scrimmages because we retain that knowledge from the fall of the spring?
Absolutely. A lot of it, though, has to do with players doing what they're supposed to do over the break. Because if you don't throw 2 or 3 or 4 times a week, you can't step in and be 3 innings on week 2 as a pitcher. So you have to do what you're supposed to do, and the guys, for the most part, overall did, and they did a great job this break.
Those next dozen or so practices you got before the first game of the season on January 30th, what can you teach your guys, or what do you want to, the knowledge you want to give to them in the next 2 weeks?
The next 2 weeks is really continuing to build that foundation and make sure that we're all on the same page. And really, when you start to teach is when we start to fail. And the only time that you start to fail is when you actually start to play. So hopefully what we can do is we can get into the middle of practice, get our foundation set, and then go out there and win but fail, and then teach.
I'll put Chase on the spot. I'll put you on the spot now, right?
What'd Chase say? How'd Chase do?
He was ready to defend his national championships.
Okay.
So are you ready to defend our region title? Like, how far does that seem down the road with this brand new team?
It's a very, very long ways.
Yeah.
It's a very long ways, and that's something that it's hard to talk about. It's hard to say, and I'm sure Chase said, "Yeah, we're going to defend the 2 national titles in tennis."
Yeah.
But I think that's our goal for sure, is to the ultimate, the pinnacle of NAIA baseball is to win the World Series, and that's what you strive for, and that's what you want to do, and you have to make sure you win January 30th.
For whatever it's worth, May seems so far away to me. I'm sure it does you. I'm looking forward to the 30th, getting back there, seeing the guys play.
It's gonna be great.
We can't win a World Series that day, but that's at least a step.
How's your game going? How's your game? Have you been practicing the radio and the articulation?
Yes, I watch a lot of basketball.
Okay.
That's about all I got right now.
Do you record it and then tape over it with your voice?
It just depends on my schedules. I kind of sneak in because there's no baseball. I mean, you get on MLB Network and you watch that, but it's a bunch of movies right now. They're not helping me out at all. Pitchers and catchers report in about a month, so they'll start firing up.
It's true.
Got to make adjustments as the series goes on.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Coach, thanks for stopping by. You got practice today?
Yep.
What time does practice start?
1:30.
1:30. We'll see you guys out there at practice. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. So our head baseball coach, Brad Stromdahl. When we come back, we will have our head softball coach, Kat Ihlenburg. She's here. She's in the house.
That's great.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. This is Grizzlies Live at Newk Eatery on the Grizzly Digital Network.
As a member of the NAIA, Georgia Gwinnett College is responsible for the actions of its coaches, student-athletes, faculty and staff, fans, boosters, and alumni. We are committed to the principle of institutional control and operating our athletics program in a manner consistent with the letter and spirit of the NAIA and Georgia Gwinnett College. We expect our student athletes to be model students in the classroom by offering academic support services in a variety of ways throughout their collegiate career. From study halls and tutoring to mentoring and personal growth and development training, GGC puts academic success at the forefront of our mission. Go Grizzlies!
Are you tracking the very latest with Grizzly Athletics? Stay up to date by following Grizzly Athletics on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can join the conversation by using the hashtag Grizzly Athletics all season long. And as always, catch all the recaps, stats, and news on grizzlyathletics.com. Don't be left out. Follow all the latest with Grizzly Athletics online.
Hello, I'm Dr. Darren Wilson, Director of Athletics at Georgia Gwinnett College. Our administrators, coaches, and staff are proud to be one of the newest members in the NAIA. We aim to uphold the NAIA Champions of Character principles by promoting a positive climate for growth while fostering relationships within Georgia Gwinnett College, Lawrenceville, and Gwinnett County. In addition, we embrace our core values for the Grizzly Athletic Department: sportsmanship, leadership, service, responsibility, and pursuing excellence. Our mission is to develop lifelong leaders of character through academic and athletic excellence. Go Grizzlies!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Grizzlies Live here at Newk City. We're joined now by our head softball coach, Kat Ihlenburg. Coach, how we doing?
Outstanding, Matt. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Everybody wants to know, how's Elizabeth? How big is she now?
She's giant. She's eating pickles back behind us. That's her number one favorite food. She's
back there
doing
behind Doug.
outstanding.
Good. Walking around, walking, talking.
Beyond walking. We're running.
Does she have a glove?
Absolutely. First word was ball, second word was shoes. And I'm like, I can't argue with you right now. You're the perfect little girl.
I think I know the answer to this question, but I guess the off-season went well with the Grizzlies in the fall, and she's been incorporated with the new Grizzlies and whatnot.
Very much.
How do you describe it? There's in-season, off-season, and recruiting season? Are those the 3 seasons for Coach Ihlenburg?
It's fair. Yeah, that's definitely what we are. When we're in season, we are in the midst of practice games. When we're off season, we're working out a little more. We're doing a little more conditioning. Recruiting seasons, the summer, maybe October, November months for us. December is the one little time you get a real nice break as a coach.
So you kids go away for the break, the holiday break, but what do you do to prepare for this first week of the school to get them ready for the season?
Yeah, the first thing is, you network. I worked quite a few camps, so I like to ask questions of my colleagues and find out what things they do within their programs that work. I also take time to go to our coaches convention, and that was filled with good information this year, so I feel like we're really coming back kind of with our batteries charged up too as coaches to create something.
New assistant this year as well, Coach Dacko, expert in the pitching game. How has she, got to know the team and the pitchers and the staff?
Alexa's really stepped up as far as filling a need academically and softball-wise. She's a unique coach that she's very smart. She was a biology major, so she's been the go-to tutor for the girls, which is funny. Sometimes I get on her and say, Lex, you're the pitching coach. But with the pitchers, we have 4 on staff, and she is an outstanding instructor. So developing pitches that we need and developing a better mentality for our pitchers.
Excellent. This first week of chaos, getting their school, getting back routine, weight room conditioning. What's something you're trying to get done this first week of practice?
This first week, it's just get the soreness out. Whether you lifted every single day or you went and took 1,000 ground balls, there's something about the first week that makes everyone a little more sore. And so we've got a nice 5-week window leading up to our first game, and I feel like this week, soreness, get a couple scrimmages in, let's see what we look like, and then fix some bugs that we might have.
How are they in the process? You kind of lay a foundation in the fall, you hope some of that knowledge comes back. Where are they at when you see them now?
We had a really interesting practice yesterday. It was really cold. It was raining the whole time, and I was the crazy softball coach with my girls out there, and finally by about the hour and a half mark, I could really tell the athletes weren't complaining. No, I don't want to be out here, still focused and cheering, but they were kind of gutting through it. And that, I think, says a lot about this team. They're going to do what it takes to accomplish the goal at hand. So, no, we didn't practice for 3 hours in the freezing rain. It was cold, and maybe we'll play a game like that, but at least I can say you've got the mentality on day one of it.
So it sounds like this time of the year, but whatever preseason is worth, the practices leading up to the first pitch of the season, you kind of shape an identity of this team. Is that safe to say?
Absolutely. There's so many new players. By design, we lost some players, but we want to bring in new players every year to create a new identity with each season. So we've turned that page. 2015 is here, and this is what we're focused on. So the identity of this group, they're very cohesive, but we've had a lot of different life events happen to players, and they're good things. You need to grow as a young lady, but we also need to come together in those times of trial to be one with Grizzly softball.
February 10th, first pitch against Reinhardt here at home in the Grizzly softball complex. What's something in Coach's mind that we need to accomplish or need to see before that first pitch?
We need a better rhythm. I would say that's the one thing in the fall, because we had so many players we were trying to learn. Role players in rhythm, and those are going to be the keys to really building upon what we finished with last year.
So you get some returners, some new ones, a new dynamic, a new team. Are there some leaders starting to shape a little bit, some people to step up?
Definitely. Some of the new players who've even come in, we have a pitcher who's come in, Katie Lang, who's been a nice addition to the pitching staff. But I always rely on my seniors, and I let them know that when they're juniors so that they have something to build towards. So I've had 2 classes of seniors, and both have been outstanding.
Wow, excellent. I'll put you on the spot, just like I put Chase and Brad on the spot here. We have a title to defend, too, at the softball program. Not on the field, but off. But that bar is kind of set now by that pass group for the NAIA Champions of Character Team Award. How do you surpass that?
That just recognizes the work that you do. So while I'll continue to try and surpass it, maybe do a couple extra hours, I want to match it. I want to just say, ladies, this is more than just you. We are about service. We are about community. We are about leadership. And those things, they can occur on the ball field, but that's a byproduct of all the things off the field. And so I really embrace that ability as a coach to really immerse them in those situations. So Special Olympics in 2 weeks. Just talked to the Collins Hill Rec Department liaison. She'll be coming over, and hopefully we'll have a couple on-field events that are pretty unique to softball.
Well, we're looking forward to it. I told Brad I was excited for softball, baseball and softball is no different. It's just the 30th coming before the 10th is the only difference in my eyes.
I understand. They've been working another week before me because they're out 10 days before me.
Well, Kat, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Tell Lily Kat we all said hi. Okay?
She's back there, hopefully still eating pickles.
We'll take a break. Yeah, she's there.
Okay.
See, we'll take a break. We'll come back and put a nice little bow on this show. This is Grizzlies Live at Newk Eatery on the Grizzly Digital Network.
As a member of the NAIA, Georgia Gwinnett College is responsible for the actions of its coaches, student-athletes, faculty and staff, fans, boosters, and alumni. We are committed to the principle of institutional control and operate in our athletics program in a manner consistent with the letter and spirit of the NAIA and Georgia Gwinnett College. We expect our student-athletes to be model students in the classroom by offering academic support services in a variety of ways throughout their collegiate career. From study halls and tutoring to mentoring and personal growth and development training, GGC puts academic success at the forefront of our mission. Go Grizzlies!
Are you tracking the very latest with Grizzly Athletics? Stay up to date by following Grizzly Athletics on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can join the conversation by using the hashtag Grizzly Athletics all season long. And as always, catch all the recaps, stats, and news on grizzlyathletics.com. Don't be left out. Follow all the latest with Grizzly Athletics online. Grizzly fans, you can purchase your season passes today. Packages are available for the fall or spring or all sporting events. You can find out more information by calling the Office of Athletics at 678-407-5275 or by visiting the game day ticket window. Single game discounts are available on game day, including youth, senior, military, and group rates. Tickets are selling fast as the Grizzlies take the field. We invite you to come experience fast-paced collegiate athletics at a friendly price. Visit grizzlyathletics.com for more information and be sure to purchase your season tickets today.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Grizzlies Live at Newk Eatery. What happens when you don't pay attention? Do pay attention to this. Grizzly baseball will open up their season at home January 30th versus Blue Mountain. Tickets are on sale now by contacting the Grizzly Athletics office or by going online at grizzlyathletics.com. Also on January 30th, men's and women's tennis will start their season as well down at the Grizzly tennis complex as they defend their national championship and represent GGC as the #1 team in the NAI versus Point. Again, that's also January 30th. We just mentioned February 10th versus Reinhardt softball will start their season also at the Grizzly softball complex. Those tickets are on sale as well. Check us out, grizzlyathletics.com. Not to be outdone, a regular feature here on Grizzlies Live, our tweet of the week comes from Pam Green, who took a picture of Eli Green's graduation cap at fall commencement. Eli, along with 9 other Grizzlies, walked across that stage as the largest group of Grizzlies to graduate to date. It also includes 4 men's soccer players who were the first international students to graduate from GGC. So congratulations to Renee, Jose, Andres, Juan, Eli, Robbie, Sloan, Christian, Carrie Ann, and Heaven for their diplomas that they received in December. Pam was our Grizzly Athletics tweet of the week by using the hashtag Grizzly Athletics. And of course, Grizzly fans, get back on the Twitter machine and use those hashtags on the left side of your screen. Grizzlies Live will resume its normally scheduled programming every Wednesday, 12 o'clock, right here on the Grizzly Digital Network. Come on out to Newk's right here in Lawrenceville, right off of Lawrenceville, Suwanee Road, Duluth Highway, right next to the Publix, inside the plaza there. Come join us, meet our staff. We'll have players moving throughout the semester as well. I think that'll do it. Thumbs up. Marissa's thumbs up. Big thanks to Locke Hoover filling in for Colin as our producer. And that'll do it for our entire cast and crew here. We'll see you next Wednesday. I'm Matt Mahoney signing off saying so long, everybody. This is the Grizzly Digital Network.
We would like to thank all of our corporate sponsors who have made today's game possible. You can watch this game and previous games. We would like to thank all of our corporate sponsors who have made today's game possible. You can watch this game and previous games by clicking the On Demand tab at the top of the page. In addition, you can watch coaches' shows and weekly feature stories all on the Grizzly Digital Network by clicking the On Demand tab as well. For the latest information, including game recaps, schedules, and so much more, visit grizzlyathletics.com.